soon. Celebration waits in the other room. The birthday gift with guilt defined. Tradition demands where they'll reside. Two separate rooms by walls divided. They'll stay together, it's decided. One wish binds them closer than them all.
The pathway of maturation for the king and keeper of Estolia is not without its challenges, particularly in our modern world. Despite the position of ultimate authority they hold, they must navigate complexities that test the very faith that elevated them. Isaiah Monterrey Zakarian, Capítulo 88.
As he bathed that afternoon, Xavier soaked in the warmth of belonging. He had always been integral to his family, connected through his brother, his parents, his position. But after that morning's ride to see the dawn, speaking with keepers, past and present, and standing with his father and mother and Max against the rising light, belonging never meant more than it did on that warm October day. Earlier that afternoon, a steady stream of well-wishers had arrived. Palace staff, household servants, distant relations, all wanting to mark the day, to be seen marking the day. Xavier, with his brother at his side, received them with the patience their rank required, but his thoughts kept returning to the sunrise, to Antonio's voice describing Laura's aura, to the feeling that something vast had been set in motion. Earlier that month, they had been measured by cousin Gerard, the royal clothier.
"You will each receive a new cape for your 12th birthday,"
he told them.
"In my experience, the most important thing of all is the ability to judge, with great accuracy, the size you will both achieve by the age of 15.
While he spoke, his assistants were measuring both boys, notating each number in their notebooks. He continued his explanation.
"The trick is to create a garment that will fall no lower than your wrists on your 12th birthday, but no higher than your elbows by your 15th.
As they prepared for the evening's celebration, Xavier stood in front of the mirror and stared at his reflection. Both he and Max wore the thin wire crowns that symbolized their future place in Estolia. Their outfits were perfectly identical in all respects, with only their capes distinguishing the one from the other. Xavier had never seen such exceptional craftsmanship. Max's was a deep royal purple with exquisite embroidery in green and gold. Xavier's was green with purple and gold embellishments and an inner lining of black to symbolize his future roles as last resort and keeper. They would be given new capes at 15 and again at 18 when they received their bendeloras.
"Come on, Zed, you have been staring at your reflection for 5 whole minutes,"
Max said. Xavier nodded and turned to smile at his brother. It was true, and they would be late if they did not hurry. They left their room and came to a halt at the image of their mother in all her celebration finery. She looked beautiful.
"You two look extraordinarily fine this evening,"
she said. Max went to her left side, while Xavier went to her right. They both took her hands and together led her out of the family room. Their father was probably already in the gathering room. Xavier leaned briefly against his mother's side, enjoying the sensation of her love flowing over both of them.
"It's an exciting time for Estolia to have the heirs to the king reach their 12th birthday. Have you considered what the two of you want?"
Xavier leaned back slightly, meeting his brother's grin behind their mother's back. They had already discussed what they wanted. Their mother's tinkling laughter, like her touch, tickled his nerve endings, reminding him of the magnitude of his love for her, his father and his brother. She looked down at them, and when she finished laughing, she said,
"I can tell that the two of you are planning something. I'm sure that, if it is a reasonable request, we will grant it to you."
"It is, Mother,"
Max said, then giggled. Their conversation ended as they approached the grand gathering room. It was time to socialize and soak up the ambiance of love and acceptance that was typical of these large gatherings. For Xavier, it got to be tedious when the guests asked the same questions they always asked, but he had to accept that he was a person of real interest to all Estolians, just as his brother was. After a moment of thought, he straightened his shoulders, controlled his gait, and lifted his chin. Out of the corner of his eye he could see his brother doing the same. They needed to prove that they were in fact both princes, and that they understood the gravity of the roles they would fill one day. Approval radiated from their Uncle Antonio and great-uncle Ricard. He was proud of the way he and his brother demonstrated their breeding and presence. The evening had been exactly what he expected: love, acceptance, and duty. For the first time, the questions and interactions did not feel tedious. He found himself answering with genuine interest, even when different people asked the same questions. The large clock in the gathering room began to chime the hour, just as Max yawned. Xavier felt relief when he saw their parents preparing to leave. He and Max crossed the room to where their parents stood with Antonio and Laura. Laura rested one graceful hand over the round swell of her gown, and Xavier remembered the morning ride to see the dawn. She would have come with them if she were not so heavily with child. They left the gathering room together. Their father paused just beyond the doors and looked at both boys.
As we return to our quarters, Max, Xavier, you both need to consider what it is you would desire above all other things as your birthday gift.
He turned with a smile to their mother and offered his arm. Xavier yawned as he and Max followed their parents. The walk to the northern tower suite felt longer than usual, and he was glad when the doors of their quarters finally came into view. It had been a very long day.
Brush your teeth, boys, and prepare for bed.
Their mother said once they were back in their quarters.
We'll be in to speak with you in half an hour.
The two brothers did not speak to one another during the next 30 minutes. They were both too tired and anxious for the new day to arrive. When their parents joined them in the small sitting area just off their bedchambers, Xavier kept blinking to stay awake.
Have you decided what you would like as a birthday gift?
Their father asked them. Max was quickest to share their deepest desire.
We would like to take over the top level of the tower,
he said. That got their parents' attention. Both turned to look at the boys. Their father said,
To be specific, you and Max wish to occupy the top of the tower for your bedchamber. Together?
Their mother added to his question before either boy could respond.
You don't wish to have your own separate bedrooms now that you are 12.
Xavier responded.
No, we both feel, Max and I, that we really need to stay together while we can. We cannot become the king and keeper if we cannot stand to live together. We feel it is important for the two of us to stay together as much as possible. Develop adult relationships with each other.
Their father's voice was gentle but firm.
It gives me great pleasure to hear you put it this way. There are grave challenges that the two of you face in being twins. You are growing up and maturing and seeing the most important elements of your personal heritage. We are both grateful for everything Deity has given us, and the two of you are almost the very top of that list.
Max giggled and said,
We know what's on the top of your list. Each other.
Which is as it should be.
Their mother's voice held mock sharpness. She reached out and ruffled Xavier's hair.
It is amazing to think how quickly you two grow. Before we know it, you will be acolytes. There is wisdom in having you wait until you are 30 to marry. That gives the parents more time to feel young before grandchildren come along and make them feel old.
Tomorrow, you will move into the new room.
Their father declared.
For tonight, enjoy one final evening of being children. Tomorrow you will be young men, 12 years old, ready for greater responsibility.
Twin sons of the king and queen stand looking in the mirror's gaze, identical in stance and mien. 12 years old, they stand